The honourable member for Fredericton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In Canada, we have the right to live free from discrimination. Across the nation, we are setting the example of what it means to be able to live freely, to be who you are, and to love whom we want. We must not forget that globally, more than 70 countries still criminalize consensual same-sex acts, countries in which people experience violence, discrimination, and harassment, and are victims of hate-motivated violence, including physical attacks, torture, and murder. In Canada, our Constitution and our laws protect people from discrimination based on grounds such as sex, religion, disability, sexual orientation, and sexual identity. Through the years, the scope of these protections must evolve. Looking through the historical lens, we can be proud. From when the Right Honourable Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau affirmed that what's done in private between adults does not concern the criminal code, to when marriage between two partners of the same gender became legal in Canada in 2005. Through this evolution in our society, we witness the power of the rising tide of freedom and love. But to say that these rights were recognized without any suffering would be to blind ourselves to the constant fight for justice that achieving equality requires. Even if our law and practice and protections provide a safe haven for many when compared to other nations, the reason why we are here today is evidence that for many Canadians, being who they are is still not a safe option. The cruel practice of conversion therapy is a practice that aims to change by employing various approaches, an individual's sexual orientation to heterosexual, or its gender identity to cisgender. The World Health Organization issued a statement almost a decade ago saying that this type of therapy poses a severe threat to the health and human rights of the affected persons. The Canadian Psychological Association warned in 2015 of the numerous negative impacts on the health of an individual, from depression and anxiety to self-harms and suicide. It is more than time that we act and criminalize this inhumane practice. I want to strongly affirm my support to the proposition to criminalize conversion therapy completely and utterly. We must protect Canadians from the harm of this practice and not leave any stones unturned to ensure a future where no one will have to undergo such pain. We must also understand that for many, the realization of their true identity only comes once they have the opportunity to experience and explore life. Criminalizing the practice for minors is essential, although we must go further to ban the practice for everyone and not legitimize any loophole. Assuming that people, even if they are not a minor, will not hope to try to please family members who offer their love only on the condition that the person goes through conversion therapy, ignores the human need to receive parental and family support and freedom and affection. Many adults would accept to undergo the procedure in the hope of erasing who they are to finally receive that love that they need. That's why allowing the therapy to simply exist in any shape or form is unacceptable. Beyond the criminalization of conversion therapy, we need to invest in services that support people. Discovering yourself in an accepting family and environment can still come with challenges for many people. Everyone should have access to the affirming and caring support that they need to thrive. Educators and healthcare providers must receive training to ensure that they are providing the best support to the peoples that they are supposed to help. That means learning about gender identity, respecting pronouns, not further fostering an environment that assumes heterosexuality as the norm. That means supporting financially community organizations and healthcare providers such as Clinic 554, whose work has had life-saving impacts on many patients. Canada must continue to stand up for the protection and promotion of the human rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, two-spirits, and intersex people globally. And all of us here in this chamber must ensure that we pass legislation that effectively protects that community, but also support any measure that would fund services and ensure that anyone who needs support can easily access it. To the parents, teachers, coaches out there, many of our children are hiding their truest selves from us because they are still afraid that they will not be loved for who they are. Join me in celebrating this bill for what it is, a chance to explain to all our children that they are worthy of love just as they are. I would like to give a shout out as well to journalists who have done the important work of bringing many of these voices forward, and I am eager to see this bill passed in this House. Thank you very much.